Hey team, how you doing? Gavin here from Starfresh Personal Training, and today is Monday, Monday motivation, and what I want to do is encourage you guys to work out on a Monday. So loud. The reason being is that it sets yourself up for the whole week. So moving forward, okay, I'm going to give you a little quick tip to help you guys get the most out of your new workout. So if you've been training for a while, a little bit stagnant, and do something called a rest pause set. I'm going to demonstrate that on the incline bench press because it's just easier to demonstrate, and give it a crack. Basically, you go to failure on the first set, rest 15 seconds, go to failure on the second set. Just pushes you through your normal sort of your boundaries, and obviously you can increase your strength and fitness by doing it. So that's my little start the fresh tip. So next time you see me, we'll be doing that little exercise. So I'm going to be demonstrating this rest pause set on the incline press I just said, and I'm going to show you how to go to absolute failure on the first set, rest 15 seconds, and then go straight to failure again. And that's how I've kind of increased my strength quite significantly actually over the last 15-16 weeks. I'll just give you a comparison very shortly to show you what I've done. So load up the dumbbells safely, bring them up and bring them down, and you notice I don't actually take the upper arms or triceps lower than parallel with the floor, because that will put your shoulder in a compromised position and doesn't actually give you any more benefit than stopping at this position. What you find is that you force yourself to hold the weight, and it causes you to push a lot harder against it. So now I'm going to wait for 15 seconds after hitting my failure point there, and then I'll do as many more reps as I possibly can after that 15 seconds. So there we go, 5 seconds left. Load it up, and I'll count out 1, 2, 3, it's getting pretty hard, and 4, and then I control the lowering portion of this last rep as much as I can, really fight against it. Okay, so I'm going to quickly go through now the difference that using a rest pause set has made to my training over the last 12-13 weeks. And when I started off, made a couple of videos a little while back about focusing more on kind of performance and strength goals as opposed to body fat, which is what I traditionally do. I got a little bit stagnant in my training last year, and I just wasn't doing what I should have been doing. And you know, the way I go through it with my clients as well is to go to failure and periodize, which means you know, plan your workouts, and I obviously do that for clients, but I wasn't doing it for myself. I was just coming into the gym and doing whatever I felt like, you know, arbitrarily going through the motions. So I decided about 15 weeks ago to put some effort into, you know, getting better, you know, give myself some focus, and really sort of get some most of my training. And I know exactly how to do it, I just hadn't really done it for a long time. So I'm going to quickly show you the last 15 weeks of results on my chest. Now, my chest has been a weak body part for me for a little while, since only because I had a really sore shoulder 2 years ago. I had cortisone injections and had a slight tear, and I've basically just been rehabbing it for ages. And it's been very painful. So now I got to the point where I've not got any pain in my shoulder anymore. You know, it's taken a long time to do it, but you know, I've got this. So you know, obviously now with proper training, proper technique, and all that sort of thing, I've managed to get my strength back, which is really cool. So I'm going to just flip the camera and show you some examples of how I've increased in the last 15 weeks. So this, as you can see, this is week 2 of my my training phase. This is a rest pause set for upper push, and I've been using the Smith machine because I found it's helping my shoulder with the bench press in particular. And I find the other bench press isn't so good, and I haven't got the support. Anyway, regardless of that. So as you can see, I've got four sets there. Okay, the first one was so this is how I do it. The weight is on top, and then my reps underneath. So I did. This is my warm-up set. So I did 10 kilos and did 12 reps. Now this wasn't the failure at all. This was a warm-up. Then I moved on to my move this along there. Then I moved on to these. Every single one of these are now failure. So I did 20 kilos on the Smith machine. I did 12 to failure on the first set. I rested for 15 seconds, and I managed to push out another 5. Then I rested for 45 seconds, and I did the second set, 20 again. I only managed 7 for absolute failure, and only 3 on my rest pause set, which is obviously having a rest for 15 seconds. And then 20 again, my weight, I'd managed 5 and then 3, and I was 20 kilos, right? So this 20 was a carryover from the week before what I did, okay? But I haven't got it written in this book, so I'm just going to show you from this one. Now fast forward a few weeks, and I'll do the comparisons. So now I did a warm-up set, if you can see that with the glare, it was 15, yeah, that's better. I did 15, and then, as you can see, I did 27, now I'm up to 27.5 kilos. I did 8 reps to failure, and I did 3 in a rest pause. So if I go back to that one, yeah, it wasn't quite as much as that one, but you can see that I have increased. So my total number of reps for this one, 10, 8, 9, 10, 11, and that was 18. Okay, now this is where it kind of comes into its own. Sorry, the glare. 20 reps again, 7 for 3 week 2. And this one there, I did 5 and 2. Okay, so I did 7 and 3, 5 and 2. And the last set then I did 27.5, 5 for 3, and I did exactly the same, 5 for 3, which tells me that I'm getting stronger, which tells me that I'm able to do similar amounts of repetitions with a lot heavier weights. Now this is kind of the power of a rest pause and pushing through your failure point, because up until this point in time, I was literally going 20, going to 12, and then stopping, then doing my second set. I just really wasn't pushing myself any further, and I was getting really stuck. So let's just have a look. Sorry guys about the sun, it's not very good. Try that there. So then we come down into my my second set. So as my 45 incline bench. So I'm going to come down to my 45-degree incline bench, and I was doing 22 kilos straight after this one, obviously. I managed 8 reps at the failure, then 3 in a rest pause. Now fast forward this amount of time, and now I'm up to 26, so it's 4 kilos, and I did more reps today and extra rest pause than I did in week 2 with a heavier weight, which is obviously really cool for me. Then you're looking at the second set, 22, 6 for 2, and this one was 9 to 2. Then the third set, 26 again, 4 to 2. That one was 5 to 3. Last one, 4 to 2. And the last one, 4 to 1. So you can see that I'm essentially getting a lot stronger over the course of that time. Then I move on, my last one, to military press, which is a compound movement. Was, I didn't even sure this one, 10 kilos. So I was doing 10 kilos, pushing 10 kilos, and it was 8 for 5. Now I'm up to 16 kilos. I made really big strength gains on this this exercise. 6 kilos per dumbbell, 7 to 4. Come back 10 kilos of 10 and 6. That one was okay, a little bit less, 6 and 5. 8 and 5, 6 and 4, 5 and 3. What was the last one? Yeah, I didn't write it in. Forgot. Yeah, so whatever it was. So as you can see, over the course of just 12, 13 short weeks, it's not a lot of time, I've managed to get quite a lot of strength in that time, and that's been really good for me. It's really positive to see, and for me then I'm obviously motivated to keep on coming and keep on pushing, keep on doing it. And it's those little things that are really important. And when you're going into your training program, sometimes you just got to focus on the small things, and just realize that you're getting stronger and fitter, and that is so good for you. And even if you haven't lost much weight on the scales, okay, just remember that when you're exercising, you're still becoming better. You're still, getting fitter and stronger and healthier and all those other things. So try not to be bogged down too much with the scales, and we absolutely have some strength goals, have some what they call them, performance goals, if you like, for yourself. I know my weight's compared to everybody else are rubbish. I know loads of people a ton stronger than me, but it doesn't matter because it's me, and I'm competing against myself all the time. And it's really good to see that I am making some progress, and that's pretty consistent across all my lifts. On my back day, my deadlift day, everything has gone up. Leg day's gone up, even with my sore knee. But it's all about getting it right. So that's my little take on that sort of stuff for me today. Rest pause set, really good, really important for pushing past that point of failure to actually increase your strength. And the proof is in the pudding. So as always, guys, start afresh, because if you don't make a change today, how tomorrow being different.